Welcome to the channel. Today we are going to prepare rice and chicken like how my grandmother does. So we've already boiled and roasted the chicken like you've seen. So next is the green grams. So this green grams was the leftover from yesterday night. So I'm going to drop a link on how I did prepare these green grams. So meanwhile, here are the ingredients that you're going to use. I have 3 tomatoes, garlic, and also those onions. But first, let me get to show you how my spices are. That's the tomato paste, salt, and also my favorite Royco mchuzi mix. First, let's get to wash these tomatoes. Yeah, it's really important to get to wash, given that I get to bought these tomatoes from a nearby market, so I'm not trusting the hands that's gotten to touch most of these tomatoes. So I bought them for Kenya shillings 100. That's close to have a dollar for a kilo of it. So let's get to chop them. Yeah, so my knife is a bit blunt, so don't mind how slow this will turn out to be. Let's now get to prepare our rice. So that's salt. I normally use half a spoonful, and also I've already inserted some cooking oil on our cooking pot. So let's get to light, and then we'll be able to bring it to boil before we can be able to add our already rinsed rice. So I think I'll be able to buy one that can be able to drizzle those oil in a more uniform way. But regarding the rice, I normally use a ratio of 1 to 2, 1 cup of rice and 2 cups of water. So I don't know, I've seen some people just frying it and maybe with some little water. So let me know your recipe on how you are able to prepare the rice in the comment section below. So I normally measure with the cup that I have used to measure the rice. That's also the same cup that I used to measure the water. And given that I'm going to use water sparingly, so the water I'm using to rinse the cup, so that will be the water that I'm going to rinse this rice with. Yeah, so I've seen some people just cooking rice without getting to wash them. But as for me, given that it has an aftertaste after preparing, when you've not washed it, I don't really like that aftertaste. So I normally wash it twice, and then I rinse that rice. So let's get to wash this rice, and then also get to rinse them to ensure that it doesn't have any taste of the chemicals. So let me know, are you a person that washes the rice, or are you someone that doesn't wash the rice? I've also devised this basin in a way that it is able to drain excess water, so that you don't get to lose some rice, just as you've seen down on the video below. So maybe if this is a hack that maybe you can try and consider in your home, if you have an extra basin like this, that maybe you can use it to rinse your rice, and also those excess water is really going to be drained well, and you'll leave your rice nice and dry. So let's get to insert this rice onto a cooking pot, given that it's already boiling. So in terms of the boiling, I've seen some people timing it, and others maybe after you've seen that all the excess water have already evaporated, that's when they realize that the rice is already ready. So let me know how you get to prepare yours. So we are going to add carrots to the rice to give it color, and also the importance of carrots is that it has carotene, which is really good for eyesight, given that carotene is a vitamin A component. So maybe something that you can consider to add your rice to carrot. It's something that I'm going to try it for the first time today. Meanwhile, let's get to see how our green grams are faring on. But first, given that you've already prepared it, so it's just a matter of just warming it. So it's really difficult for me when I'm preparing and cutting the garlic. So I don't know which is the best way to peel the garlic. But given that if you are someone that has a pestle and a mortar, it's really important that after you've chopped them, you can be able to ground them into a form of a semi paste. But given that I don't have it, it's also, you can be able to just peel them and then cut into small pieces, and then you can insert uh, to your meat, or maybe if, for this case chicken. It's really important that you add them, given that it has a very nice taste, especially if you really cook well together with the tomatoes and also the garlic. So I'll be able to show you how that will taste afterwards.
Never really know what's going on.
So this onions is one of the difficult ingredients for me whenever I'm preparing any food, given that anytime that I try to peel and cut them, it normally makes my eyes to get to water. It makes really watery, and even at some points really difficult to be able to see how I'm chopping them. Also, that's why I'm really careful not to be able to have my parts of my fingers as part of the ingredients. So I've seen that there is a machine that you can just be able to peel these onions, and also just inside it, and also it has like knives that can be able to cut them into small pieces. So if you have one or you're selling one, you can be able to DM me, and then especially the cost, because it will really come in handy.
Never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is.
So all our ingredients are nice and done. We have onions, garlic, and also tomatoes that we're going to be able to make the soup for preparing the chicken. It will be coming the broth of the chicken, including also the tomato paste. So let's get to prepare these ingredients to be able to make a very nice soup. Let's get to turn these onions and garlic into golden brown under minimum heat before we can be able to put our tomatoes. I've realized that if you put all the three together, the tomatoes will be ready, and then it will be able to get burned even before these onions and garlic are done. After our onions and garlic are golden brown, now you're going to add these tomatoes and then turn them until a point where it's fluffy. That's when you're going to be able to beat them into a paste, given that this is going to serve as our paste. So just turn them. Also, the heat that you're going to use is minimum heat. So these are our chicken. So given that other ingredients are ready, let's now put them into the chicken, which is already prepared, and also make sure that all, like, it's just a marination of this chicken with this tomato paste, onions, and also the garlic. Ensure that you really turned well this chicken to ensure that all the parts have been able to have this paste. So it's really important that you have the Royco Mchuzi mix in the chicken, because you'll not have achieved that taste without that important ingredient. So let's get moment of truth now. So the servings was for two. The accompaniments was Del Monte passion juice. That's how the serving was like. It was really good, take my word for it, and I encourage you to save and try and let me know how it turned up in the comment section.